Yeah, I always say like I feel like I got into a point where win or lose, I'm gonna go viral.
This is PT Carroll for MMA On Point, and today I'm at the Cornflake Private Cinema to talk about showmanship with the king of showmanship, Michael Venom Page.
Fighting out of London, England, Michael Venom Page.
But I didn't dance for a reason. I wanted to make him lose all his power. I kept telling him he had no punch, he couldn't hit, he's swinging like a sissy, he's missing, but I want all boxers to put this on the page of boxing. Staying on the ropes is a beautiful thing with a heavyweight when you make him shoot his best shot and you know he's not hitting you.
A few people out there do think that I'm a little bit arrogant, I'm a little bit cocky.
A lot of people think you're the MMA version of Naz.
I wouldn't like to be like anybody, any sportsman in Britain.
You need to get
I
yourself a pair of
like
these shorts.
That's who I am, that's who I stand for, and that's what I am at the end of the day.
You know, I gave the sport my whole life, man. My whole life. I ate, sleep, shit, and drunk boxing. I didn't finish school because I chose to put my mother in a better situation. Boxing was my girlfriend. Boxing was my life. Boxing was my wife.
So, watching these legends, I guess I wanted to ask you, where did you see showmanship and when did it begin to emerge in you?
I was fortunate enough to have martial arts kind of in my family. It's a Caribbean background. Everyone's very like kind of showy, like you love to dance or that kind of stuff. But then in terms of like these legends here, it'd definitely be like Muhammad Ali, watching some of his stuff, and I think he set the pace for near enough everybody, you know, the other two to follow, and everybody else when it comes to being a showman, not just in the ring, where a lot of fighters, even till today, still don't get that they are a brand in themselves, so they need to do more than just, you know, train and do everything for the fight. You need to be a character and everything outside the fight as well. You want to be that person that's, you know, that ends up on one of these clips inspiring other people later on. There's so many people that are fighting at the same time. Why is it that, you know, I want to watch you? If I put those kind of shows on, it is so memorable for everybody that's there at that time. Not only are you going to want to come back, you're going to want to see me fight again, you're going to want to follow my career, and that's what puts you in these kind of clips.
Can you remember watching them when you were a kid and going, this is something different?
Yeah, Prince Nassim, definitely. He was probably the only person that I would watch boxing for. It's like you say, waiting for him to flip over the ropes or come out on some big bloody, he's a proper showman, and things like that are definitely inspirations as to how do I want to do my walkouts, how do I want to finish fights, how do I want to leave fights, and all of that was something that I took down, like it was literally writing notes on. I've actually got there's a clip of me when I was young. I was probably about 13 and I was fighting somebody, and he threw a shot to try and hit me, and I ducked underneath him and he flew off the mat. But I literally turned around like that, just watching him, and everybody's cracking up. All that kind of stuff what I was doing from a young age. Anyone from outside of combat sports that was an inspiration in terms of showmanship? Yeah, definitely. Then the person that I probably watched hours and hours of footage on was The Rock.
Wow.
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson, just because I was like, I need to think about one person that literally just has the crowd in their hands, and it's him. Rock probably wouldn't have been my favorite wrestler, but was still the most memorable. You know, I still knew all of his moves, but he wasn't the main person that I would follow. I was a massive fan of Stone Cold, a massive fan of Goldberg, massive fan of Eddie Guerrero, there's like so many different wrestlers that I was like proper, like couldn't wait to see. And he was just good at presenting that side. I feel the best at presenting that side, and I had to just study that.
Remember this bad boy from Dream back in the day?
Have a look at that. The Japanese schoolgirls. God bless you, Jason Miller. You are living my fantasy. You, Jason Miller, you are living my fantasy.
The baddie in Liverpool, the Echo.
Unbelievable. Thousands of the Echo on their feet. That's Paddy the Baddy.
Do you reckon he spends a lot of time thinking about his things as well?
I don't know, I think he's in the moment. He seems like someone that's just in the moment.
Would you ever rock that coat yourself?
Probably not.
Who's this lad?
He's just some weird guy. Wears dresses.
I love it. Class. How important is the entrance? What do you want the fans to be feeling when you enter the arena, basically?
I want them to feel that energy because I want them to give it back to me. It helps if the fans are always behind you and they're just going to keep encouraging you. So if you give them something at the beginning, straight away you put them in that mode of they just want to see you do something well. You know, at any moment you throw a kick, throw a punch, they're right there with you, shouting, screaming, yeah, come on, you want them. It helps when they're on your side. Take your time. Like, don't rush to the cage. We're going to fight. Just take it all in, man. Everyone's standing up, screaming your name. I want to enjoy everything myself, and then I want that enjoyment to spread to them and then back to me. That energy to then pass straight back for when I'm fighting. You walk into my change room before the fight, and it's a party. We're dancing, moving around, I'm just having so much fun. Whereas people get in their own head in that moment because you're about to walk out and you're like panicking, I could lose this fight. You shouldn't even have any of those kind of thoughts. In the changing room, I have people around me that's going to give me energy. We're dancing, the tracks are playing, you know, I'm getting hyped. Then I give myself something I'm going to do to give to the fans, so I'm in that element, I'm enjoying that, I'm soaking it up, and then by the time I'm in the cage ready to fight, where I'm at my happiest anyway.
This is where the fun begins.
Have you seen this guy? This is incredible. In the Middle East.
No.
This guy is going to inspire you, believe me.
Oh man.
Here tonight.
First exchange.
Straight away.
If he had got a few taunts in, you know what I mean, he might have been able to throw the guy off a bit.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one. I've met this guy as well.
Oh, you've met this guy?
Yeah.
He's trying to do one of yours big time there. That is 100% one of yours. That one hurt me. That legitimately felt that, like when that happened, you know? I thought he was going to come back and destroy Weidman after that.
Yeah,
you know, it was like
and
he's
then
going to.
bloody leg thing happened.
I know.
It was his time.
That still upsets me. I can't believe he's put that in there, lads. Wow. Do you think about it when it does happen? Are you like, oh, here we go? Like, does it even enter your thought? You're just like, well, that's just the way it is.
Nah, to be fair, I've been, you know, touch wood, I've been lucky in the sense that obviously the fight I lost against Lima, people were more impressed about how I took the loss than me getting knocked out. You still get people that, you know, they talk their crap. But there had a lot of people like, oh man, you took the loss really well. And I was like, I don't know what you expected me to do, like, after losing. And it wasn't as bad as, you know, I thought it was gonna be. So I've been lucky in that sense. But yeah, I don't really care anymore. It doesn't really bother me.
You know this, lad.
Oh, beautiful. I just love the combination.
What do you think Alvarez is feeling there when the hands go behind the back like that?
Again, you can't do anything. It's frustration in that moment. You just can't do anything. These guys, you have to just love them.
They're
man.
class, aren't they?
You have to love them.
You like the Diaz swag?
Yeah. I love these guys. You gotta love these brothers, man. Oh.
This is a performance throughout, right? The whole thing is like a play.
Skip, see ya.
Oh. Woo. Did you like that one?
That was sick.
Do you watch these other guys? Do you give them praise?
Yeah, 100%, man. Like McGregor, you have to, like, one thing I say about McGregor is there's a moment in those fights or during that fight or the build up of that fight that he'll say something and that he could sell t-shirts just on that alone. It's amazing. Obviously, Masvidal, I'm a massive fan of in terms of I just like his character. He's ready to fight. And the Diaz brothers, I think everyone loves them, man.
I think that one's special though because it's on Anderson, a guy who clowns himself. Like, has anyone successfully taunted you mid-fight? I can't think of anyone that's...
Yeah, there's a couple people that try. You know, Rickles did it a couple of times. I think he stuck his finger at me, he was dancing, he did a couple of dancings, but again, he was doing that kind of stuff from the weigh-ins as well. He took out a fake heart and he acted like he's taken out of my chest and he's like, I'm gonna take your heart. And he ended up quitting.
How do you come up with the ideas, right? Like, I mean, they've been so creative. It seems like you're so good at tapping into things that are happening in the moment. And then sometimes, of course, it works out in the way, like the Thanos thing happened with Chris Pratt there. Like, like he didn't even know I was going to be there that night. Like, I mean, how do you plot these things out?
I have to say, my family, my siblings and the friends that are around me were constantly talking about what we're gonna do next, and they'll tell me, this is just dropped somewhere, and and I'm like, okay, let me research. Oh, crazy, that's on. Oh, I might use that. So then I'm just constantly getting ideas and ideas and ideas coming up to the fight. It's just dependent on where you are. You know, like for me, there are sometimes you got to think about who you're in front of, who you're around. Although in Japan, when where I wore, you know, the Naruto gown, I knew a lot of people there would get it. But then also a big part of their culture is respect. So this is why I didn't have anything after.
Right.
So I didn't want to after. I knew like I'm gonna go for the win, and I'm just gonna bow. Whereas if I had that very same fight in a different country, I'd have had something else ready for after the fight, and it's just doing your research right at the same time.
I think we're ready to roll it on there, lads. We have a few of your famous KOs coming up. That guy just ran straight in. You poleaxed him, like what?
I spoke to him afterwards as well.
You just sprinted into the ring.
The London shoot fights.
This is the first one I remember going viral. Do you remember Baz Rutten and all talking about inside MMA? That was Anderson Silva. Everyone was comparing.
That's it. That's straight away. This is the first one. That's my first fight. Yeah.
What are those?
He said he had enough.
Look at MVP.
That submission as well. That shocked everybody, right? Straight forward.
Nobody. I was like, he can do jiu-jitsu? What?
Another one. Another legend, you know what I mean? Oh. Man, that X-ray makes me want to vomit in my mouth.
No. Even when I hear the sound, because you don't hear it like that in the moment.
Yeah, of course. It's so mean, Michael. The first time I saw this was Baz Rutten talking about inside MMA, and he was saying this guy's like Anderson Silva. It's unbelievable. But did you expect it to happen that quickly?
Nah, not at all. Probably been doing MMA about 9 months at the time. This is the first time I was being unsure about myself. Literally walk into the cage for this. And then that was it. The second the bell went, I was like, relaxed completely.
It is polarizing though, right? Like showboating in general, right? I know, especially the MMA people, man. I think they're the most ravenous fan base in the history of sports. I really do.
And there's been negative responses from people that have established, and even in the fight game. I'm just inspired to prove you wrong and then inspire you to change your mind on camera. Because I've heard people say some things and I'm like, all right. And then later on they're like, oh, actually, no, he's really good. And I'm like, yeah, I knew it. I knew I'd get you eventually. Yeah. The only person I'd say that has held a grudge was like Paul Daly. Somebody that I think he was just more annoyed about the attention I was getting so quickly. Or anytime he kind of came up, somebody would bring my name into it. And I feel like that might have been a frustrating thing. But most other people seem to get it. It's kind of the package deal if you're fighting MVP. People kind of accept the going in, the challenge of winning a fight or having the rest of that stuff happen to them.
One of the weirdest things I've saw watching a fight of yours live was, and this must have been scary for you because Mark Liotta seemed absolutely disgusted by what you were doing, and it seemed to actually, we saw him take a point and stuff like this. I mean, it must have been worrying at the time where you're like, hang on, am I actually is this gonna cost me a fight here if I continue to do what I do?
Yeah, to be fair, I think if it was a bigger fight, I didn't think it was ever going to affect me during this fight. I knew I was going to beat Richard. But at the same time, when I've looked back on, in terms of for Dan, he has shown, I've seen him raise a hand before and like kind of throw his hand away in disgust because he didn't
like the decision.
He didn't like the decision almost. And like I said, I feel like he's had an issue with me from before because I had an incident with him before that, like years before that. I'm probably about my second or third fight in Bellator. I'm walking out and I've got my shades on, that was my thing at the time. I got to walk out. He's like, take your shades off, it's not Hollywood. And I was like, it is Hollywood. This is what we are trying to do. We are trying to build a sport, put it out there. So, and he legit wasn't gonna let me walk and just took it off. So my coach took it, I walked on and my coach gave it back to me on the stage, and then I came out of it anyway. On that very same show, King Mo walked to into the arena with a crown, a chain, 2 women with umbrellas. And I'm like, huh? I do feel like that is definitely put to bed. We had a conversation about it. Saw me at an event, came, sat down to me, we had a conversation. So I feel like that's put to bed.
After watching a feast of your festive walkouts, your in-cage antics, what do you have planned for this fight? This is a big one. I mean, because it's so, like, you know, it's a rubber match. Do you start going, we're gonna have to rule all this, we're gonna have to peel all this stuff back and just get down to business, or what way do you approach it?
Right now, in my head at the moment, peel it all back, get down to business. I want to make a point about just my ability and what I'm capable of doing against somebody that everybody knows is dangerous. You know, he's gone up a weight division trying to fight Masasi. Although he didn't go successful, it wasn't bad. It shows you his ability. So, yeah, but I want to go in there and just lay him to rest.
Well, mate, I cannot wait for it. Thank you so much, man. It was brilliant to pick your brain, man. Unbelievable. I can't wait to see it.
Man, I can't wait to get it done.